He couldn't believe it. He was like, Jerry Rice wouldn't sign my ball. I was like, son, we just whipped his ass. He ain't gonna sign it. It's that time again, and what's going on? It's Keyshawn, and welcome to my show. Undisputed presents All Facts and No Breaks. Joining me today is the NFL's all-time leader in touchdowns, all-time leader in receptions. To get this, 13, not 3, 13-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, best receiver to ever lace him up, the GOAT, Jerry Rice. What's happening, Jerry Lee?
Keyshawn, you the GOAT, man. Come on, brother. Let's go, man. Give me the ball. Give me the ball, baby.
Well, I had to say, give me the ball because I didn't have coaches that was smart enough to realize they had to give me the opportunity to catch the rock. Also, Jerry, joining me is my son, Keyshawn Jr. He'll be joining us on the pod as well.
How you doing? It's an honor.
Keyshawn Jr., what's up, man? You the GOAT, man. You a GOAT too,
man.
Yeah, you GOAT too, man.
Appreciate that.
Let's dive quickly into this, Jerry. Growing up in Crawford, Mississippi, you know, I've always envisioned, because I'm a West Coast guy, but I always envisioned what would it be like growing up in the Deep South? What was it like, that experience for you?
Well, the Deep South for me, we didn't have much. I had 5 brothers. I had 2 sisters, and we fought over everything, but we were like a very, very close family. Population in Crawford, Mississippi, maybe 3,000 people or something like that. If you blink going through Crawford, you were going to miss the town of Crawford, Mississippi. So I remember running those dirt roads, and everybody in the neighborhood, you know, if you were doing something wrong, they would discipline you because they, you know, parents, I guess they confided in each other. And if they saw, you know, someone like a kid doing something wrong, they could discipline that kid. But it was a lot of fun, man. Very close family. Didn't have much. Had to work for everything. But I would not change anything because it taught me about just hard work and dedication and applying yourself and always giving 100%. And I think it molded me into the person that I am today.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned 5 and 2. You are one of 8 children in your family, Jerry. And along the way, you earn money with your family and picking cotton and corn. See, me, I'm like, ain't nowhere in the hell I'm picking no damn cotton. But I guess that's part of living in the Deep South and in Mississippi. How did that shape you to become who you are, though?
Well, I just knew it was something that I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. But it helped my family. It provided us with income where we could put food on the table. Also, you know, we, pick cotton, we pick corn. We also veggies and stuff like that, potatoes, all of that, you know, that was part of it. But I think it just showed me that, hey, look, you know, even though I was putting in that hard work, then I would go to work with my father during the summer because he was a bricklayer and he was a very, very demanding man. And he was the type of father that never said, hey, I love you, but you knew that he did. And, if I didn't do my job, I got disciplined a certain way. So, you know, it just taught me about hard work and dedication. And I tried to apply that to football my entire career. And it's like I never took it for granted. And I always felt like I had to be that leader and also work hard.
So your senior year in high school, Jerry, you caught 50 receptions, 30 touchdowns, but yet and still you made a choice to stay home and go to Mississippi Valley State, which is a HBCU school. How did that decision come about?
Well, Keyshawn, the HBCU sent a coach out to talk to me face to face. And in Mississippi, that goes a long way, man. When you able to look that person in the eye and shake his hand. So, I got letters from all the major schools, USC, Notre Dame, and the list just went on and on. But, just to have that interaction with that coach made my mind up to go to Mississippi Valley State University. Plus, my brother played at a HBCU, too, at Jackson State. And I knew that they were going to be doing something special there, man, because they threw the ball like 90% of the time. So I felt like it was a great place to go for a receiver. And I went and had the time of my life, man. Seriously, I would not change anything because of the culture, all of that, the battle of the bands, and just putting on that uniform. It's like you had the Christmas colors and all of that, but it was something about Mississippi Valley State that I would never forget.
I watched you obviously when I was a kid play at Mississippi Valley State. I remember the quarterback, something Robertson. I think his name was Robinson.
Oh, Willie Todd.
We call him. What's
Willie
he doing?
Willie the Satellite Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
They felt like he could throw anything. He was the satellite. He was controlling everything. Then they called me Jerry the World Rice because they felt like I could catch anything in the world, man. So it was like it was a great team, man. We tried to just put up outstanding numbers, bring a lot of recognition to Mississippi Valley State because we felt if we could get drafted, then that would open the door for so many of the other athletes, that was playing sports there. And I just felt when I went into the NFL that I wanted to make a statement, and I think all the hard work just paid off for me.
When you think about HBCU football, names like Michael Strahan and Walter Payton, and just great Hall of Famers up and down everywhere in HBCU. What you think about the job that your former teammate and Deion Prime Sanders did at Jackson State? What you think about that?
Yeah, I think Deion did a fantastic job at Jackson State. He brought a lot of recognition. He changed the culture there. And then, he wanted to move on. He went to Colorado and he was doing, exceptional things there. He took his sons with him. I think both his sons went with him. And his son actually now is, he's that starting quarterback and he's doing a great job in Colorado. And then you got, I think Shiloh, then you have Shadeur. Both guys are excelling. And I think Deion is doing a great job also in Colorado.
You were the 16th pick in 1985 for the 49ers, but you were the number one pick in the USFL for the Birmingham Stallions. They drafted you number one overall before the league went away. Did you ever at all, like your former teammate Steve Young, think about ever playing in the USFL and foregoing the 49ers?
No, Keyshawn, I wanted to go to the NFL. I wanted to go to the NFL because at that time, my favorite team, it was the Dallas Cowboys. I thought I was going to wear that star on my helmet, and I thought I was going to get drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, but San Francisco traded with the New England Patriots to get down to that 16th spot, and they picked me. Then I started thinking about Joe Montana, Dwight Clark, Ronnie Lott, all of these great players, all of these Hall of Famers that I would get the opportunity to line up with. But it was never a doubt. I wanted to play NFL football, and I got that opportunity.
All right, Jerry, this is part of the show where we start to dive into a little bit of a controversy. So you obviously played with Joe Montana in the 80s, Steve Young in the 90s, 2 Super Bowl rings with Joe, 1 with Steve. If you only had to pick one, and I know it's hard, which one of those 2 would you pick?
Keyshawn, why you putting that pressure on me there, man?
I know it's hard.
I played with 2 Hall of Famers, two outstanding quarterbacks.
Hey, you can't be wrong.
And I'm gonna break this down for you real quick. Joe Montana and we had such chemistry, man. If Joe was a female, we would have dated because the chemistry was just that good. Now, then also you had Steve Young to come along, and I was able to put up outstanding numbers with Steve Young. And through all the quarterbacks that I went through, I was able to adjust, to their strengths. Like Montana, I knew Montana wouldn't hold on to the ball that long. And if I ran my routes, I knew the ball was halfway in the air. And with Steve Young was more of a running quarterback at first, but then he wanted to become that pocket passer, and we were able to do great things. So Jeff Garcia and Steve Bono, the list just goes on and on. I was always able to adjust to whoever was behind center and brought out the best in them. But if I had to pick one, it probably would be Joe Montana, because we had great chemistry.
Yeah, it obviously growing up and watching you and just, idolizing you from afar. When I had an opportunity to whoop your ass, though, in Super Bowl 37, I took pride in that. But look, in Super Bowl 37, the Buccaneers.
Thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it. Hey, and you brought back bad memories for me, but it's all good.
You wouldn't sign my ball, Jerry. I was there.
Yeah, Jerry, that's true. My son was young. Keyshawn was young, right? And after the game, obviously the game was over with.
Yes.
And Kiki was what we call him. He went up to you to sign the autograph, and obviously you wasn't very happy.
Oh, my God.
It was after a loss. I get it now, but when I was 4 or 5, I took it a type of way.
He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it.
That was at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
He couldn't believe it. He was like, Jerry Rice wouldn't sign my ball. I was like, son, we just whipped his ass. He ain't going to sign it. So in Super Bowl 37, though, you obviously the Buccaneers and the Raiders, and the score was 48-21. Jerry backed Tim Brown's assertion that Coach Callahan intentionally hurt the Oakland Raiders' chances by changing the game plan 2 days before the game. Do you still feel that way right now?
Well, because we found out the morning of the Super Bowl that our center, he was found in a ditch in Mexico. Mm-hmm. So we had planned to run it. We had planned to run the ball. That was the game plan. And all of a sudden, because we didn't have our starting center, the entire game plan, it was just thrown out the door. And I still felt like we should have ran the ball, because we had Charlie Garner and we had Wheatley. And I just felt like you guys didn't have an answer for that. But also, you got to think of this too. John Gruden, he knew Rich Gannon really well. He knew his tendencies. He sort of molded Rich Gannon into the quarterback that he was able to become. So I remember John Lynch looking at that film, because Keyshawn, it was hard for me, like when losing a game of that magnitude, of me going back watching a game like that. But I had to do it because I had to bring some closure to it and put it behind me. And I could hear John Lynch saying, hey, just stay at home. Just stay at home. He's going to throw it backside. He's going to look front side. He's going to throw it backside. And whenever he threw it backside, it was going for 6 for a touchdown. So, yeah, we sort of like, because of losing our center and changing our game plan, so I was very shocked by that. And I think Tim was shocked by that, too.
Damn, we don't get no credit. Jerry,
No.
Jerry, you ain't giving us no credit.
No, I'm giving you guys credit. You guys won that Super Bowl. You won it. You won it.
No, I know. I'm just teasing you. Now, when you look back on your career, obviously you got accomplishments all over the board. Just turn around and look behind you. Balls and this and pictures and trophies and just everything you could think of. I mean, what is your proudest accomplishment, Jerry, in your NFL career?
Oh, my God, man. It's so many things. Being a great leader on the football field, off the football field, getting out in the community and having people to actually, come up to you and want your signature or take a picture. And being able to play the game at a very high level for over 20 years. And, I know, so many players, they base things around stats and all that, but I really love playing football. I love playing in front of 30,000 fans. I loved all of that. I love playing on the big stage, the Super Bowls and all of that. And I welcome that challenge of being exceptional on that day, because I felt I had trained myself respond in a very positive way, because if I didn't put the work in during the week, I felt I didn't have a chance during that football game. So all of those things, factored into my success on the football field and off the football field.
What do you think ultimately though made you the best
hungry.
receiver to ever play?
Hungry. Never felt like I had arrived, man. And still today, when I hear people say, you might be the greatest, receiver to ever play the game, it's sort of like, it freaks me out a little bit, because I always felt like I could give more. There was work out there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you was trying to get more in Denver, looking crazy at whatever or however old you.
19. I said, 19.
Man, I said, man, if Jerry don't freaking retire already. Nah.
Well, last week we had. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, last week we had your son on All Facts, No Breaks. But what was it like supporting him throughout his journey and seeing him follow in your footsteps?
You know what? Just being a dad, man. I'm serious. I do not throw anything on him. I'm just there for support. If he wants to come to me and ask me about a route or something like that, now it's time, to give my legitimate opinion. But, I sit in the stands and I'm just there for him. And I just tell him, hey, look, this is all about you now. It's not about me. It's not about what I have accomplished. You just, go work hard, put the work in, and just be yourself.
Yeah,
and I'm just there.
When we talked to him on the show, we asked him about possibly joining the 49ers. Here's what he had to say.
I wouldn't say that the Niners would be a best option.
You don't want to do that, huh?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that?
No, I do, but at the same time, it's like, my pops already created a legacy over there, man. I'm trying to create mine.
Then they would be talking about he needs to wear number 80 and all that, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going for that. If they drafted me, I'm not wearing 80.
You got a number in mind?
2, my own number.
Yeah. Well, he wants to wear 2, but would you unretire it and give him 80 for him?
Hey, you know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you, because as a receiver and Keyshawn, back in the day, we couldn't wear like a single digit number. I wanted a single digit number. So, I understand that he wants to wear number 2. And I was 88 in college. And when I came to the Niners, Freddie Solomon had he had 88. So I couldn't get that number. I decided to pick 80. So I understand what he's saying. And this is all about his legacy. I could see him, as a Dallas Cowboy, and I would cheer for him, to be honest with you, because, it's going to be hard for him if he comes to the San Francisco 49ers and, there's going to be so much pressure put on him. But, he's just going to have to be a man and deal with that and say, hey, look, this is not about what my dad did. It's about what I'm trying to accomplish now. And I got to work my butt off. And I got to prove to my teammates that, hey, look, I deserve to be that starter. And I'm going to do everything to help my team to win.
I'm going to ask you one of the stupidest questions that I could ever come up with in my mind, because I know the damn answer to it, which is nobody. But in today's game, Jerry, who out there reminds you of yourself? Because I can tell you now, nobody to me.
Well, Keyshawn, football done changed so much now.
Yeah.
And, man, it was just something about the way we played the game. I mean, now you look at, there's social media, there's so much happening, and, I hear guys, comment about what they're wearing, after the game. Man, I'm like, are you serious right now? But I just don't see football the way we played it.
Yeah.
But I still love the game of football, and I watch it and I support it. The route running, there's more of just the run pass option. There's more bubble screens. The ball is not being thrown downfield as much. wide receivers, they don't have to be able to run routes like we had to run routes back in the day. So it done changed a lot, but I still support it.
Yeah, you dating me with the back in the day, man. You make it seem like I played.
Come on, Keyshawn. You know that you had to run routes back in the day.
No, I did. I did.
You had to be able to actually defeat bump and run.
Yes.
I mean, where you had guys just tugging on you the entire time down the field. They can't do that anymore. You basically don't even see any bump and run anymore, man. Mm-hmm. If you cannot run a route where a defender is 5 yards off you and get open, are you serious?
Mm. Yeah, no, you're right, Jerry. So when you look at it in today's game, receivers got free access all day long, right? They just got it. The wide receivers' numbers can't be looked at the same, in my opinion, as the times that we played in the National Football League. Some teams threw the ball all over the lot, but for the most part, you was being disrupted at the line of scrimmage, down the field, all sorts of stuff. Do you look at it any different when you look at numbers? Will anybody, in your opinion, be able to get over the 20,000-yard mark in their career?
I think anything is possible. I think records are meant to be broken, but are you willing to sacrifice like that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the heart to do that? Because I played for over 20 years. I played when I was not 100%. I played, when I had nagging injuries, all of that, and I still was able to really perform at a very high level. Mm. And it was because I loved what I was doing, and I didn't want to let my teammates down. I didn't want them to go to battle without me because I wanted to be that leader on the football field. So if anyone is willing to sacrifice like that, yeah, I believe records are meant to be broken.
So on an episode of New Heights with Travis and Jason Kelsey, Julian Edelman talked about taking your daughter to prom and trying on your Super Bowl rings without permission. Take a look.
I know nothing.
Did you actually take Jerry Rice's daughter to prom and try on the Super Bowl ring? Was that real?
She took me to her prom.
Ooh.
I did to wear those Super Bowl rings.
That's awesome.
Sorry, Jerry. I used to go into his office all the time. He was never home, so I'd be over there playing with balls. I saw jerseys. It was crazy. Jerry Rice, bro. I was a Bay Area kid. He was a f***ing legend.
The record setter himself.
It was so crazy, and they had such a cool house. Man. I remember
You're
the
in a
first
flashback right now.
First time I met him, dude came out yoked up, six-packed up with his chain on. He intimidated the out of me.
So Jerry, we just wanted to give you an opportunity to respond to Julian on this one. He said you showed us the chain. So what was the thought process when you saw him?
Man, Julian, he's a funny dude, man. So I don't, because Keyshawn, okay. I'm gonna break this down real fast. Okay, I remember him coming over to the house. I remember them going to the prom together. And him being around, and he was exceptional, when he played ball and all of that. But my rings, I have always had my rings locked up. So unless my daughter knew the combination, there's
a little bit of cap in there, huh?
I'm just gonna leave it as is. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just that type of guy.
Yeah.
So, when you look back at the defensive backs that you played against, I know one guy that wasn't a problem for you. Who was that defensive back, Jerry, that you was like, man, I got to go up against this dude?
Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders. The battles that we had, back in the day, even when he was with Atlanta and also with Dallas, it was a mano. And I primed and I prepared myself for that. And, all the reps during the week, I wanted to take those reps. I wanted to be able to have a game plan going in. And if you're going to face the best, you better have a game plan. I wanted to initiate. I was not going to wait for him to bring it to me. So I was going to attack him right from the start, with my route running, with my double moves, even if it was a run play, I was sprinting about 60 yards downfield. I was going to try to wear him out. So I was always, looking forward to that battle, with Deion Sanders, but then also Darryl Green. So the real fast guys, you got to have a plan when you come to the line and you got to get them off their base on the snap of the ball. And I think I had the greatest coach ever, Bill Walsh, to always, tell me that you got to win at the line of scrimmage. And I was able to do that.
I would probably go on record and say I mastered every single route that you ran. I mastered it. The one that I could not master was the shake route. I have no idea why I couldn't put my foot in the ground and make a DB fall like you did McTire that time in the dirt against the Atlanta Falcons. You remember that, Jerry? You ran a shake route on the right side, and you did it full fucking speed. Didn't stop, didn't change, didn't do nothing. I couldn't get that in my arsenal to save my life.
Well, Keyshawn, you know what? I would go out early before practice and I would mirror my routes. And I was not, going 100%, but I would run those routes until I just had a feel for doing it in ball games. And my wife always said that, I used to run routes in my sleep. When I was sleeping and I would run routes and I would actually be playing the game in my sleep. But yeah, just being able to run those routes, being able to be crisp and come out of it without chopping your steps.
Man.
So, like that shake route, I'm going to hit it at 8, then I'm going to sell that post 1, 2, 3, then I'm dropping my hips, then I'm coming out. I can set it high or I can set it low. And it's up to the quarterback to, basically get me the football. But it was just like doing a dance, man. I would just do it
man,
over.
You made that dude literally fall. You remember the one I'm talking about?
I know the one you're talking about. I think
Keyshawn,
that game,
you got to see it, though. You got to see it.
I think in that game, Demery was playing me one-on-one. I think I had 5 touchdowns in that game.
Damn.
And it was just like taking candy.
It sound like it.
It was like taking candy, man, because the reason why I say that is if you can't defeat one-on-one coverage and get open,
man,
you don't deserve to play in the NFL.
I can't believe they matched you up man to man in that game, though. It didn't make any sense to me.
I'm saying in Montana, I'm talking to my teammates. I said, I can't believe they're doing this one-on-one. Got the first touchdown, the second one, the third, the fourth, the fifth. It was just like that, man, taking candy from a baby.
Well, speaking of primetime, Deion Sanders recently said he'd pull an Eli Manning to keep Shadeur and Travis Hunter away from certain cities. Let's take a listen.
Where do you predict Shadeur and Travis going in the draft?
Top 4.
Ooh, that's pretty beautiful.
Anywhere from 1 through 4. One of them is going to be 1.
That's what I'm talking about.
One of them is going to be
Speak it
1.
into existence.
And the latter one would not go behind 4. Now, all this is subjective because I know where I kind of want them to go. And let's not forget Shallow, okay? But I know where I want them to go. So there's certain cities that ain't going to happen.
Okay, you on point.
It's going to be it's gonna be an Eli.
So Jerry, I'll start with you first. What are your thoughts on Coach Prime threatening to pull an Eli to land his son with the right team? And could you see yourself doing the same for Brenden?
I guess with the NILs and all of that and the amount of money that these collegiate players are making now, they could afford to do that because some of those college players are making more than some of those NFL players. So I don't think I would I wouldn't do Brenden that way because, I'm one of those guys that believe that anywhere you go, if you work hard and if you lead by example, you're going to have success. And you're going to be able to bring everybody else along with you. So, I think Deion, he wants to control the situation. And as a father, I'm not going to say anything bad about that. But no, that's not something that I would do with Brenden. I would let him just, whoever should draft him, he has to go in there and prove himself. And also, if he does that, I think he's going to be a great leader, and he's going to bring a lot of success to that team.
For sure. So since you're both wide receivers, we want to play a game we like to call Name That Receiver. So I'm going to give you guys a route, and I want you guys to give me one receiver who you'd want to run that route in a must-have situation. Not including yours, because I know you guys are going to say, oh, me, but let's start with the post route. Which receiver are you taking?
I'm going to take Randy Moss.
Okay.
I'm taking Steve Largent.
Okay.
But wait, is that a deep post or is that a bang 8?
Bang 8. It looks like a bang.
Well, then if it's a bang 8, I'm taking Michael Irvin or Jerry Rice.
Okay.
Okay. If it's a bang 8, I'm taking Michael Irvin, or I'm taking Keyshawn Johnson.
For sure. All right, next route's a slant. We're going to say 3-step slant. Put it up there.
I'm going to take a 3-step slant. I'm taking Larry Fitzgerald, Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice.
Oh, my God. I got to go with Chris Carter. I would say Randy Moss, but Randy doesn't like to go in the middle. He doesn't want to go in there. Randy is going to stay outside. I'm probably going to say, who else?
For me, it was you, Mike. It was you and Michael and Larry Fitzgerald.
For sure.
Andre Rison. Also Andre Rison.
Okay. The next one's, we'll do a 5-yard out. Or no, we'll say 5-step out.
So a quick out?
Nah, like a 5-step.
So it's a roll, a roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Square out.
So I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna go Michael Irvin, and I'm gonna go Jerry Rice because of the timing aspect. And I'm gonna go Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Larry Fitzgerald, to me, he's perfect for that route. But also, I'm thinking Michael was very good at that.
Yeah, Michael was good at it, and it was all timing.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of Larry. All right, so then the last one's a 9, just to go.
Man, I'm taking Randy Moss, man. Let's not even play.
Hey, Randy Moss. Randy Moss. Say today's, say a Tyreek Hill or something like that.
Right.
They're gonna kill that.
But also, Keyshawn, when you get a chance, you got to go pull up the 9 route Jerry Rice ran on the right side, didn't stop in stride, stuck his big long ass fingers out, gloved it with one hand. It landed in his hand and he kept it moving. You remember that? You remember that, Jerry? I don't remember exactly who he was playing against, but he didn't break stride or nothing. It was like pat and go.
Keyshawn, sometimes out of desperation, you just stick your hand out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know.
You had a couple of those, Dad.
No, that's what I said. I know. But Jerry's looked like it was made in a lab. You got to see the video because he didn't break stride. He didn't slow down, no nothing. He just kept running and stuck his hand out like pat and go and kept it moving.
Man. So, Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we saw that chain behind you. What's the story behind your iced out 49ers helmet chain?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's bring that out, man. Come on.
That's the goat
fuel.
You got a couple of them, huh?
I got all my chains, man.
Oh, yeah. So what's the story behind that?
All right. The story behind this is that I would always go to ball games. And I would take pictures and I would sign, helmets or memorabilia stuff for the fans. And this one guy, he said, hey, look, I wanted to make something for you because you always giving to us and I want to give this to you. So he made this for me and I would wear it. I would wear it to the ball games and I was just like, hey, this is my bling bling. This is nothing compared to what my son is trying to get me to buy him and stuff like that.
We were talking about it.
Man, all that bling bling. Hey, man. But then I got this is my 7-Eleven. And Keyshawn, with my energy drink, it's in 7-Eleven and I say to myself, 24/7, always open, baby.
Always open.
Always open.
Always open.
I had that license plate.
You got to have that right there, baby. And Niners, we came up short. And, 3 years because, let me see, we lost against the Ravens. We lost twice against KC. I'm tired of it. I don't want to lose, man. I don't want to lose anymore. So Niners, hey, man, once you guys get there, you got to kick that door in, baby. You got to finish it. Finish.
Is that it for us?
It is. That's all.
All right. So I just want to say thanks a lot, the GOAT, joining us. Thanks, Jerry, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
One of the greatest to ever do it, all times. All right, buddy.
Hey, Junior, you a GOAT, man. Keyshawn, you a GOAT, man. Hey, let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right.
Appreciate you guys, man. You guys have a good one.
All right, Jerry. That's a wrap for today's show. And thanks again to my boy, Jerry Rice, for joining the show. Don't forget to subscribe and follow All Facts on the pod, social media. Until then, it's Keyshawn. Peace.